this video, I'm talking about autism and sensory issues and why people on the autism spectrum have sensory issues. All that plus more is coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie World. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos all about this type of stuff. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell down below. And also if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, make sure to follow this page for daily videos from me. I'm also doing videos on TikTok, so please check me out on TikTok. Also, super dope. Okay, so autism and sensory processing issues. This month is Sensory Processing Awareness Month, which is kind of cool because it's also ADHD Awareness Month. So I wanted to do a video about sensory issues because I feel like it's kind of like the elephant in the room. Everybody knows that autistic people have sensory processing issues, but nobody really addresses it. And this is kind of because in a diagnosis type of sense, you can't get an independent diagnosis of sensory processing disorder. It has to be comorbid with autism. Like, you could get autism and sensory processing disorder, not just sensory processing disorder. But that being said, why not talk about it in general? A lot of people miss this out. A lot of people don't talk about it. So I teamed up with Soundsory Headphones to bring you this video this week. And this video is sponsored by Soundsory. So autism and sensory processing disorder. Now, like I said in the intro, people who have an autism spectrum disorder usually have a sensory processing disorder as a comorbid component to them being on the autism spectrum. This means that lights and sounds and certain touches, smells and temperature can really impact the person's ability to just be in that moment, just be in this environment, right? And it could cause all things like meltdowns and burnouts and a lot of overwhelming kind of stimulation from third-party senses. Now, this happens because sensory processing and sensory input are third-party data inputs. So the autistic brain has a different neurological kind of wiring to that of a neurotypical brain or a person who is not autistic. And what happens is when you have sensory input through the senses, like your smell or your sight or sound or touch or taste or whatever, basically the signals go in, but they get mismatched and they hit a different place, which basically means that you might hear a word or smell a smell or hear a sound, and that sound, smell or word could actually cause you pain, not just reading it as is what it is. This is why a lot of people on the autism spectrum are fussy with food, they're fussy with the clothing textures they have, they're fussy with temperatures, sounds, sight. You might see a lot of autistic people putting headphones on just to sit indoors and just have headphones on to have a bit of filter from the noise and stuff that's around them, and maybe wearing sunglasses indoors. I do that all the time. And in fact, I actually did a video all about hacks and tips for people who have sensory processing needs, and I'll leave that in a card above here and in the link in the description down below, so you can definitely check out that video. But more importantly, using those hacks will help reduce a lot of or filter a lot of the sensory input that you get from other things. Now, this does happen because of the autism spectrum condition, and autism in its full integrity is a communication disorder, and communication in many forms. It's social communication, social interaction, it's communicating with one's self, and it is also communicating your needs to other people. But on top of that, you have sensory input, and these sensory inputs are communicative pathways that you're communicating with the world around you through the sight, the smell, the sounds, the taste, the textures, everything. So this is why it causes so much disgruntled issues with autistic people. It's not that they're being fussy or they're fussy eaters or picky eaters or people who are just being awkward. They actually feel maybe physical pain in some scenarios from these certain sensory inputs. Now, I will have a lot more information all about sensory processing disorder in a video down below, so definitely check that out. Highly recommend checking out Soundsory Headphones if you want something that will help you and your child with sensory processing disorder needs. Soundsory Headphones are recommended by occupational therapists and professionals for people who are on the autism spectrum to help with their sensory needs. So Soundsory is a multi-sensory music and movement program that lasts about 30 minutes every day for 40 days, and they split it up into two parts. You've got 20 days of the therapy on one side, you have a month break, and then you have 20 days of the therapy on the other side. The Soundsory headphone is equipped with a dynamic filter and bone conduction technology, which helps improve motor skills and cognitive development in children and adults. this is super awesome. So Soundsory actually works on the fine, gross, and visual motor skills in children and adults, obviously, leading to enhancements in handwriting and drawing and all those kind of skills. It also helps with body posture, balance, and hand-eye coordination, and also in sports skills. I was terrible at sports when I was in school, and probably still am. I've actually used this piece of equipment myself. This is the equipment. It's a pair of headphones, and you just pop these bad boys on, like you can see in the cutaways here, and it plays music and tells you a little bit about like how to exercise with the music, and the results are pretty good. The results are actually really, really good. I've used this before. I did 20 days of this in a row, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed this piece of equipment. Now, Soundsory have a special deal on. They have 20% off on their website right now, but if you use my code, which is TheAspie10, and the link down below, you get an extra 10% off, so you can get 30% off if you want to buy these. I highly recommend it. I have a lot of feedback from people telling me how cool these are, how great they are, and Soundsory are an amazing company, specifically designed to help people on the autism spectrum and with other developmental delays. This is super awesome. So please check them out. Give them the time of day because I highly recommend it, and you will not be sorry for checking them out. Okay guys, if I've missed anything out, pop it in a comment down below. Love to know your input. See you in the next video, guys. Peace. Don't put that in.